It is Sunday, September 4th, 2025. This is Daniel once again back with another voice recording. I want to talk about certain things I've been seeing on the app, on the how you say it, the Nextdoor app, the neighborhood app. If anyone doesn't know about the Nextdoor app, basically it's a neighborhood app that you could download on your phone or your computer or whatever. And kind of socialize with the community that's in your area. And you just talk with your neighbors or just post whatever. I don't think you could post whatever, but I know there's some guidelines on there next door. But it's a good way to kind of see what's going on in the community, it's update news, whatever, right? People post a lot of different stuff on there. Their occupation and work that needs to be done, or whatever. They're trying to get hired by certain neighbors to get jobs done. It's a whole array of things you could actually use the app for. But anyway, I'm just kind of scrolling on it today, which I know I shouldn't be scrolling on any kind of social media, whatever. But I'm on it and I'm just kind of looking through any and every post or whatnot, and it just seems like a lot of posts are talking about more of people, begging on the app, asking for assistance. You never know. You never really know how much people are going through a lot until you actually go on the app and you see that, like, man, there's a lot of people that need help on here, man. There's a lot of people, and I could just kind of think, you know, now that without the app, I could just think like, man, you know what, I may have a lot of problems in my life, right? But man, just imagine how many other people have many problems in their life. Where they're all going through their own little world and their own little situation right now. They're trying to get out of, right? I would hope and pray that they're praying on the Lord, our God, to get them out of that situation, whatever it might be. But as I'm on the app, yeah, I'm just kind of seeing people posting they need help, whatever. You know what I'm saying? They need money. And that's just a normal thing. Some people help them, some people don't. Obviously, I mean, you do have the right not to help. I mean, I guess, or if you just don't have the means to help, then just don't. I guess. But I guess everybody has their right to do whatever they want. You have free will, right? But just kind of scrolling and kind of got on it just not too long ago. I see a post from one neighbor, talking about how neighbors are just kind of like just asking for a lot. You know what I mean? Asking for too much, and not really seeking their own, not really having the drive or ambition to go out and actually seek a job or seek work, or just on there begging. This is what the post is saying, just on there begging and pretty much saying that the parents of today need to kind of like sit down with their children and change their mindset on how to be better individuals, not to be out here begging or stealing or stuff like that, which is sound and wise advice, I would say, right? But I get to a point of understanding, like, look, man, I mean, how do we know, right? There's people that are really needing help out there, right? And then there's beggars, right? I don't like to use the word beggar, but let's just use beggar since that's a normal word that most people understand. There's beggars out there. Let's just say it, right? There's people out there that beg for money or whatever resources and don't do nothing with it, but you know, use it for pleasure or whatever, right? They don't use it to advance in life, right? They beg money or they beg resources and don't give back to the planet, right? We could understand that. But there are those that really need the help and they just can't get back on their feet whatsoever. What I mean? They have the bad luck of draw or something. I don't know. Right? Now here's the thing. How do we discern between the two? Right? There's not. I mean, how can you? How can you discern between someone who's really talking genuinely that they need help, they need diapers for their baby and stuff like that. How could you, as being a soft-hearted person, just think like, man, damn, they have a newborn baby and they need diapers and milk and all this good stuff, and not knowing that they may be scamming you, whatever, right? How does one know that, right? Now, I'm gonna always go back to Jesus's teachings, because it seems like Jesus always have. It seems like he's the only person in the Bible that is making sense right now. I don't care about anybody else in the Bible who talking. Jesus seems like he's the only person, being, entity in the Bible that's making sense, right? So in the Bible, because I was reading a few scriptures, I kind of like Google, like, what does the Bible say? What does Jesus say about beggars, right? Beggars. And at one point do we kind of like discern between beggars and people that actually need help, right? At this point in life, you just sometimes you just can't, you just don't know, man. Unless you just could read minds or you just kind of scoping people out and watching them and see how they move. In most cases, you just don't know whether you're being scammed or not, right? Um, so what does Jesus say about everything concerning these people, these beggars? Understand that in the Bible, there were people that were following Jesus, right? In a sense, they were begging Jesus for his help. They knew of him. They knew that he was a healer. They were following behind him, begging him for healing, whatever, right? The blind beggar. If anybody remember the story of the blind beggar, he asked Jesus to help him a little bit, right? But the Bible also talks about more stuff. You know, what I mean, if you if you go back to Proverbs, it talks about. Let me go back. Let's see. Um. So like I said, the Bible doesn't advocate turning a blind eye to the poor, and needy. The Proverbs 28:27 says, "Whoever gives to the poor will not want, but he who hides his eye will get many accursed." So, in a sense, I mean, if you are a quote unquote Christian, then you would abide by that rule, I would say. Or, I mean, if you want to take that proverb into consideration, you would take that and lead that to your life, right? Now, in this day and age, we accumulate so many things. We accumulate a lot of stuff, right? That sometimes we just accumulate so much stuff that we can't even take care of it. We don't even have the means or the money to take care of most of the stuff. We have 3, 4 cars, not even, you know what I mean, and no money to take care of them, right? We got car notes. We got just so much things that we just don't know what we doing with them, right? Now, if anybody cherishes these products, these items of the world, then yeah, you wouldn't want someone coming and borrowing or breaking or stealing your stuff, right? I mean, you spending your hard-earned money accumulating everything, right? And you don't want someone stealing or taking your stuff or scamming you out of your things that you have worked so hard for. I get it. I understand. But according to Jesus's teachings, and if you supposedly supposed to be a Christian, even though Jesus wasn't a Christian, but if you're supposed to be following the Jesus way, none of those things should matter to you. None of the things that you have accumulated, whether they be stolen or you're being scammed out of, or even if it's money that you're being scammed out of, it should be like a breeze to you. Nothing, right? I mean, no one wants to be scammed, right? No one wants somebody to steal from them, right? I mean, that's just human nature. But if you were to be some sort of Christ-like figure with a new mind and new body and new sound judgment, new mindset, then those things, you shouldn't feel away when those things blow away or go away, right? Now, many people look at me like, "Oh, well, I disagree. I'll disagree." No, the scriptures say it, right? The scriptures talk about Why put your heart on these things when they rust, right? These things will rust away. You can't take them to heaven or the kingdom of heaven, right? These things on earth will rust away. You should accumulate the things of the heavens, all the fruits of the spirit, the things that don't rust, right? So, in a sense, where we talking about, let me see, because I had other scriptures. Deuteronomy 15:11 says, "Open wide your hand to your brother, to the needy, and to the poor in your land." So that doesn't discriminate needy and beggars, because at the same time, you just don't know who is a scammer, right? You just know that they're begging. You just know that they're needy. You just know that they're poor. Now, sometimes you just don't know. So you don't know the intentions of this person that's in front of you, who's begging, or in who's living a poor life, or they probably not living a poor life. They just begging. So you can still put them in that category of beggar, right? They're begging, give it. Not to say to give your all, but give something. I mean, you don't have to give what they're asking, right? But you could help them out a bit, right? You could make them a sandwich. Oh, I got a sandwich. I'll come, whatever. In a way, you get to weed out and see. you get to see what their real intentions are by giving them something else, maybe. All right, just give them something. The Bible preaches that, hey man, just give to the poor. It doesn't specify exactly what to give them. See, I just opened your eyes. So it doesn't specify exactly what to give them. So if they're asking, hey, can I get, $50? You don't have to give them exactly what you want to give them. Just you don't have to give them exactly what they ask for. Sorry. But you could give them something, well, I see that you got your pants are ripped and your shirt is dirty. I'll give you a pair of shirt and pants and whatever. You know what I mean? I don't have $50 right now, but I got an extra pair of clothes. You give them that. Why not? And if they refuse that, then you know where their heart is, right? You know where their heart is. But hey, if they refuse it, what does the Bible say? If they refuse you, you brush your feet off and continue. You brush your feet off and continue, right? So let's go back up, man. I got the Google out right now, the scriptures. All right. So the Bible instructs believers to open their hearts and hands to the poor rather than hardening them or shutting them out. The story of the blind beggar Bartimaeus, who cried out for Jesus for mercy, illustrates the importance of compassion for those in need. So, in a sense, the Bible is teaching you, Jesus is teaching you to have compassion on all people. Everybody, people are going through some stuff. People are, if they're shisty and they're, how you say it, if they're, scheming, I would say, or scamming, you have compassion on them because the intentions of a human flesh. You understand the flesh. You understand the flesh. As a Christ follower, you understand the flesh, that these people will scam you, will beg for you, or beg something from you, and scheme and plot and all this other stuff. You walk with compassion for these people. You understand them. Not saying to be their friends. I'm not saying that. But you understand that they are weak, in a weakened state. They're in the flesh. This flesh is a piece of work if you could understand it. Jesus understood. If people are saying that Jesus is the epitome of what God is, God in the flesh, God knows now. God understands now, like, okay, well, this flesh is a piece of work. I'm gonna walk with compassion for these individuals, and I'm gonna die for their misdeeds or sins or whatever you want to call them. Like, wow, this flesh is a piece of work. I can't. This yo. God feels exactly what you're feeling. He understands. If he understands, that means you must understand as a Christ follower that you must walk with compassion for these individuals that are scamming and scheming or begging or whatever whoever's committing quote unquote sins. That you walk with compassion and hey, man, hey, you understand. Man, look, I understand, man. Hey, in certain situations, you have to do what you have to do. I understand. Maybe the scheming, the scamming people have to do what they want to do. No one wants to be, scammed. Nobody wants to be shiced out. You know what I mean? But there's ways to weed out a scammer. You don't give them exactly what they ask for, but you give them something as the Bible proclaims. You help them in certain situations. You don't out here just kind of blow them up on social media and just talk about them and all this other stuff. You either help or you just don't talk, right? Right? You either help or you don't talk. But just so you know that there's, according to the Bible, let me see, let's go to because I was just reading it. Let's see. Let's see. Give to everyone. Give to everyone who asks you, and from one who takes away your goods. All right. So listen. All right. So this is Luke 6. I didn't even see this. Oh, I didn't even see this one. All right. So this is Luke 6:30 that says that give to everyone who asks you, and from one who takes away your goods, do not demand them back. Oh my goodness. The scriptures are saying something. You guys not reading it. And I kid you not. I don't claim to be Christian, but the words in here are saying something. You guys not living up. You guys not listening to the words that's being coming off these words. You guys are preaching God and preaching the Bible. But listen to the Jesus teachings right now. You want to claim to be Christian or a Christ follower. Luke 6:30 says, give to everyone who asks you. And from one who takes away your goods, do not demand them back. You see what I'm saying? If they don't give it back, don't demand them back. Aren't you? Listen to this. Listen to this. Listen to this right quick. It says, give to everyone who asks you, right? Now that's not saying to give them exactly what they ask for. Give them something. If you feel like they're hungry, give them something, right? But it says that for the one who takes away your goods, do not demand them back, right? So what is that saying? That's saying that you at this point in this world, you shouldn't even care about those things, the things that rust, right? You should be able to kind of look at life now that you're following God and following Christ. You should be able to think like, man, God is going to restore. God, whatever I lose or lost, God is going to restore me of my goods that he has blessed me with in the first place. He's going to restore me to my rightful place on the throne. Right? Right? I mean, hey, let me get off the throne. He's going to take me off the throne for a little bit to teach me a lesson, to show me compassion. And then he's going to restore me. I'm not losing. I have everything. I have everything. So when the people are scamming or begging, I'm not gonna, they take whatever, goods away from me. I'm not going to demand it back. If they feel like they are ready to give back my things, then hey, they will have the chance to give it back to me. But if they really truly need it, then what's the point? What's the point of me demanding it back? It seemed like they needed it more than me. But I know for sure, if I trust in God, that I know that he shall restore me of my products, whatever it is, whatever, my money, my whatever it is, my throne. I'm not losing. Jesus talks about it like, look, man, look at the flowers on the ground. Like, They're beautiful. You don't worry about the clothes that you wear. Because look at the flowers. They don't even twist and twirl. And look how God has blessed them with a whole bunch of colors and arrays. I know I'm paraphrasing them, but you guys get what I'm talking about. Jesus is the only person that made, literally the one person that makes sense in this dang Bible. I see why they killed him. I see why they did what they did. Hey, Lord, you died. You died preaching some good stuff. I'm telling you right now. Right? So it depends on where your heart lies, right? So if your heart lies in your things, your resources, the things that you work so hard for, boom, 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 then no, you're not gonna be like, no, I'm not giving no nothing to no poor, nothing. I'm not giving. I got clothes that I had clothes in here for 10 years and I ain't wear it. Nah, these are sentimental. That's where your heart is. When there's people out there that need clothes, right? They need a coat. You had the coat in there for 10 years in your closet. You ain't wearing it. You keeping it for sentimental value. That's where your heart is. I'm not. Hey, look, man. I'm not here to shame people, but if you calling yourself a Christ follower, then this is the mindset you must have. That God will restore you for everything. None of this stuff matters. Yes, none of this stuff matters. None of the things of this world, the things that rust and corrode, don't matter. Right? So for those that's like on the Nextdoor app talking about people and they begging and scamming people and parents should do this, and yes, parents should kind of really read the Bible, help these children read the Bible and understand that, look, man, God is where he, God is the being that you should be calling on for all your resources, that he shall restore you to your rightful throne, wherever it may be, wherever you going. That you pray often, yes. But knowing me, that I know that Jesus said I shouldn't be out here judging, will not call nobody out on social media. I'm walking with compassion. I could understand why these folks are doing the things they doing. I could understand why they're scheming or scamming. This is some tough times, right? Hey, we may have houses and cars and appliances in our house, but we still struggling because we trying to keep up with that life. We're constantly buying these products to keep the image, right? That's where our heart lies. Well, I don't want nobody stealing my big screen TV. Who the f cares? Who cares? Those who follow Christ shouldn't care about those things. The people that come inside my house and steal, because I know for sure if I pray, man, hey, you know what? They needed it more than me. Hey, they needed it more than me. Let them have it. Christ shall restore. That's it. Christ shall restore. Whatever it is, these things are rusting. They dusting. All these television sets have dust on them and rust. The cars, will eventually rust and die out, man. Most of the cases, half the things that we have doing it's not even ours. They belong to the damn state or whatever. Just to be real, most of this stuff belong to the state. My car is registered with the state. I don't own this damn thing. If I have to keep working to keep it up, I don't own it. Right? Do I want people to steal stuff from me? No, no one does. But when they take it, obviously they needed it more than me. So hey, God shall restore. At the end of the day, God shall restore whatever it might be, whatever I need, and whatever I need in this current situation that I'm in currently, He shall restore. If I need food, I'm gonna pray for it. He's gonna come through for me. Somebody's gonna give me food. I know it because I have that trust and I have that faith in my Lord and Savior. Christ. I know that he shall heal me. Whatever. I have that faith. So no, I'm not gonna go on the social media and talk about the beggars and the scammers and the schemers, because I walk it with compassion, because I know that they're out there. I know that they're out there and they doing what they can do to survive in some way. You know, may not be the right way or the righteous way, but they have their reward. They have their I could understand the words that are being spoken in the scriptures, that they have their reward, right? Whatever energy that they're bringing into the world or giving out to the world will be received back onto them and their family. I hate to say it, if they're doing wrong, it may come back to them or their family. They'll be cursed, right? Or something. I hate to say it, but this is truth. This is truth. We could understand how the life of an individual, how I could be so unlucky in most cases, where another person is lucky because their family was. Their family, they had a good family structure. Their father was good at luck. The son is good at luck. Me, not so much, because my dad ain't, or his dad, you just have the same kind of bloodline kind of thing going on. Bloodline curse or bloodline luck, whatever you want to call it. But it's up to right now to change that lifestyle and walk in the will of God as Jesus did. And understand the scripture. We have to sit down and understand what Jesus is talking about. Man, we have to take care of the people out here, man. Love our brother as we love ourselves. Right? Hey, man, these people out here scamming. They scamming. So what? They scamming. Don't fall into the scam. If you know it's a scam, don't fall into the scam. I'm not saying, if you know it's a scam, don't fall into the scam. But if your brother need help, I'm not telling you to give them what they asking for. You give them something. You give them whatever you have that to get. Some food. Hey, most people need food in their stomach. They hungry. If you know how to cook, feed them. If you own your own food shop, then hey, do your thing. But like I said, the Bible says, "Give to the poor." Doesn't specify. So, like I said, if it were me, I wouldn't be on the social media calling these people out, telling people, "Hey, you parents need to do better." You know what I mean? Man, we have it hard as it is sometimes. These parents, we are still children trying to figure this thing out too. We parents are still children trying to figure this thing out too. We trying to figure out this life right now. We trying to figure out what's going on in this circle of things right now. Hey, we trying, but man, I could only say that because I'm walking out here with compassion. But anyway, I'm gonna end it there. Um, Thank you guys for listening. Catch you guys later. If you guys and girls made it this far, press that like button and don't forget to subscribe to the channel. If you're watching this on my Facebook page, take the time to subscribe to my YouTube page at Notice TV. That's all caps, NOTICE TV. I'll catch you later and may God bless you.